Hello, everybody. Nick Morganson here from the Empty the Bench podcast network and a disgruntled Jets fan. If you were just watching Sunday night football, and if you did, you just saw this ridiculous outcome. You saw the Steelers beat the Jets 37-15. Steelers outscored the Jets 24 to nothing in the second half. Normally, I don't go live after games, but I am severely frustrated as a Jet fan right now. And just look at this game, like that stat I just told you, the Jets just completely laid an egg in the second half, getting outscored by the Steelers 24 nothing in the second half. The defense just completely nowhere to be found whatsoever. And just look at the stats coming into this game. We were already 2-4. Now we're 2-5. The season is basically in implode mode. And by the way, any fans that are watching, if you want to drop questions or whatever, I will read comments. I'm sure there's a bunch of disgruntled Jet fans out there that are feeling the same way I'm feeling right now. And we just had good momentum in the world of New York sports. Okay, we just saw the New York Liberty win a WNBA title. The Yankees are heading off to the World Series. Mets, different story. They just got ousted by the Dodgers. But the New York Jets have to rain on everybody's parade and just be an embarrassment for New York sports. So Russell Wilson in his first game, first start of the 2024 season, goes 16 for 29 for 264 yards with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Okay? And you know what? He outplayed Aaron Rodgers. Are you kidding me, Aaron? Are you kidding me? You got outplayed by a quarterback that's Mr. Unlimited. You got outplayed by that guy? You're going to tell me that you can come back from losing to a quarterback that was essentially benched after the way he played last year? After the 2 years of the dysfunction in Denver, to coming to Pittsburgh. And I know he was injured to start the season. I can't hold the injury against him. But he was a dysfunctional quarterback that had no business being in the league anymore. And you let that guy, Russell Wilson, completely embarrass you offensively. There's no excuses for this. I know Aaron Rodgers, so I'm looking at his stats. 24 for 39, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, threw 2 picks, one that was not his fault by any means, because Garrett Wilson has butterfingers and can't catch a football. And that's what's frustrating to me. Now, I understand you had all the drama during the week. You picked up Devontae Adams. And it's frustrating. And I'm so freaking tired that this team is over-accentuated. And I'm just totally frustrated. And I don't know what to say. And I'm just so tired. This team is done. Stick a fork in the New York Jets. And the season's over. I called this before the season, by the way. Everyone was so high on the New York Jets that everyone was saying, oh, it's a Super Bowl or bust year. Okay, it's not a Super Bowl or bust year. It's now your season is imploding. Your season is over at 2-5. And you're not recovering because Aaron Rodgers is not the quarterback that he once was. Okay? But it's dysfunction. It's turmoil. I said this already on a few episodes. I said this on Empty the Bench the other day, last week. And I said it on Football Forecast. I even got this outcome right. I said that they were going to lose to the Steelers because the Jets can't beat anybody. Okay? We couldn't beat the Bills last week. Everyone was saying last week, including on our football forecast show, it was, it's a game for first place. What? They're not playing for first. They're no way playing for first this year. This season is over. I dare somebody in the comments to tell me that this season is not over. Okay? If you can't beat Russell Wilson, you're not beating anybody that's elite. As I said before, if you're not beating Mr. Unlimited, you're not beating anybody else. And I can look at the Jets' schedule, and I can tell you this. I'll pull up the Jets' schedule right now, just if we really want to look at this and really go over this, because it's going to make my blood boil. So they play the Patriots next. If you couldn't beat Russell Wilson, are you going to beat the Patriots? I would hope so. But then your schedule gets a little tougher after that. You have the Jets at home for Halloween. You have the Texans at home for Halloween. Okay? You're not beating the Texans at home on Halloween. So tick that one off. Then you go on the road, West Coast to Arizona. Now, I know Arizona's a little dysfunctional, but they have some offensive weapons. I know Marvin Harrison Jr. with some concussion issues, but Kyler Murray can run the football. Okay, that's not an easy task. Then they play the Colts on Sunday night. Is it winnable? Of course it's winnable. But you got to be careful for their weapons. Anthony Richardson, Pittman. If Jonathan Taylor can somehow get healthy, because he has not been. And then you have the Seahawks. Again, Geno Smith might be looking a little more redemption-esque coming back into New York. I think the Seahawks are going to beat us. Then they go on the road to play Miami. Miami's dysfunctional. I get it. Jaguars. They have a stretch of games they can win. But you lost games already that you should have won. And what the heck, Greg Zuerlein, again, missing a kick. I get it. Was it blocked? I understand. But you got to get fundamentals down if you're going to win games. And I just don't see it. I don't see this team turning around. Okay? And it was a huge love fest during the Sunday Night Football game on NBC. Right off the bat, I knew they were going to start with these headlines. And they were going to say, oh, look, Davante's back with Aaron. It's a love fest. He's been staying at his house this week. They had dinner all week. Okay. And what did that lead to? It led to a loss. Okay. They stunk. And all of New York Sports Talk Radio is going to kill the Jets because they're not winning games. Okay. They're doing nothing. If you can't beat a Steelers franchise, you're not beating anybody else. And now I'm seeing all these trends that Davante Adams and whatever and all this nonsense. And by the way, there were some pictures on the sideline of Davante Adams looking disinterested. And some people were joking, oh, well, maybe you felt like he never left the Raiders. And you know what? I would think this situation is a little better than the Raiders. But if the offense is going to be as dysfunctional as this, I really don't know what to tell you at this point. Everyone is reacting that this is a terrible loss. And I see head coach Jeff Ulbrich just getting quoted as saying, we can all give more and we will give more. Really, coach? Are you going to give more? Are you going to give more? I don't know. I'm asking. Are you going to give more? Because right now, I just don't see that happening. And people are saying, oh, before this game, well, Russ is washed. He can't do anything. Well, the Jets just made him look like Patrick Mahomes out there. And I just find this funny, too, because after the game on Sunday Night Football, they give the game ball to somebody. And they gave a game ball to Russell Wilson. Excuse me, which I'm laughing at. Because this man was basically jettisoned out of the league. Denver basically took a full dead cap hit to get rid of him. The Steelers are basically picking him up on minimum wage. to be the starting quarterback. And you know what? I feel bad for Justin Fields because Justin Fields did nothing wrong to be benched, to have Russell Wilson start. And of course, the Steelers are going to say, well, he played really good football, so now we're going to build on this, and he's going to be the starter, and Justin Fields is going to end up being the backup after he. Now, I'm not going to say Justin Fields has been great by any means, but now all of a sudden you're going to put Mr. Unlimited in, and now he's going to be your answer? I don't know if he's your answer. Russell Wilson has a lot more to prove than throwing for 264 yards and 2 touchdowns to really say whether this was a superb victory for the Steelers. The Steelers' defense is really what helped them win the game tonight. And also, I brought this up on Football Forecast, which came out on Saturday. George Pickens this is the first time he's had a really, really good performance. Now, people are going to put that up to task and say, was that a Russell Wilson scenario? Where basically they said, oh, well, Russell Wilson can throw the ball deeper, can air the ball out a little more, which you saw that a few times in tonight's game. Russell Wilson was airing out the football. It took him a little bit to get going, but he finally aired the football out. And there was some amazing catches, a few by Pickens, also the touchdown in the end zone. Freiermuth, who made that incredible catch, almost like a one-hander, to extend that drive. There were some great catches. Van Jefferson getting in the mix with a touchdown. But George Pickens really came out to play. And it was about time. 5 receptions, 111 yards, and a touchdown, and that long catch for 44 yards, which was incredible because the Jets' defense just did not exist tonight. Excuse me. That's what I feel what the Jets were tonight. A huge choke. Everyone says, oh, this defense is great. They can stop anybody. 37 points to the Steelers. Now, don't get me wrong. The Steelers have been playing great. They're playing a lot better and above expectations for what people thought. Because obviously they're 5-2 and the Jets are 2-5. But no one expected 37 points on the Jet defense. I mean, that's kind of the shocker to me right now. And that's what I'm really trying to figure out here. And I just saw in the press conference, by the way, that a frustrated Jeff Ulbrich dropped an F-bomb in his post-game press conference and quickly apologized. Now, I know he's an emotional coach, and you can see this one bothered him. But he didn't like the way the team handled the adversity in the game. Okay? They didn't handle the adversity well. And this team is just not ready to perform, let alone make the playoffs and be the Super Bowl contender that everyone was saying. Now, I'm still in the party, and I said this. You can go back and watch ETB Sports that I do with my co-host Tom Albano, or on Football Forecast, which I do with all our guys on the network. And you can track what I said. It said I was not a fan of the Davante Adams move to the New York Jets. This is not me being sour as a Jet fan. I was on record before, weeks ago, saying that I thought Davante Adams being traded to the Jets was not a good move. And by the way, he was nowhere to be found on the field at all. I'm trying to look through the stats. So he had 3 receptions for 30 yards. And he had that one, and I'm laughing about it, one defensive play that stopped them from giving up a pick 6. So his presence was nowhere felt whatsoever. And you know what else is more disturbing to me? You want to know who the leading receiver was tonight? It wasn't Garrett Wilson. It wasn't Allen Lazard. It wasn't Davante Adams. It wasn't Mike Williams. It was Breece Hall. Breece Hall. Breece Hall was the leading receiver tonight. 6 receptions, 103 yards. If he's going to be your leading receiver, the Jets are fucked. They are. I'm sorry. They just are. Again, I challenge somebody in the comments to tell me that this team is not effed up and fucked right now as an organization. Okay? Because right now they're dysfunctional. The chemistry doesn't work. Their head coach is interim. I know he's on the staff as defense, but defensive coaches don't always pan out to win in titles and all that nonsense. This team is in trouble. And I just don't see them pulling out of it. And I'll say it on the next football forecast. I'll say it on live streams. I'll say it on short videos. This team is done. Way done. Wave the white flag. I just don't see them pulling out of a 2-5 start. So when this team doesn't make the playoffs, which is what the reputation of the team was supposed to be, there was a lot of pressure on the New York Jets to make the playoffs, go deep into the playoffs, possibly a Super Bowl, which I thought was laughable, by the way. Now they're probably not going to make the playoffs after starting 2-5. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on this team, whether that's to get rid of Aaron Rodgers, which I hope they do at the end of the season. But we all know that the owner, Woody Johnson, has a love fest with Aaron Rodgers. They spent all that trade capital. They went to his mansion or estate in California to convince him to come into the New York Jets organization in a Jets uniform. Come on, Aaron, be our savior. Please, please, please be our savior. Well, how's that worked out so far? He was injured year one after 4 plays with an Achilles injury. You didn't see him after that. Comes back and doesn't do much. You have 2 wins in 7 games. Okay? I just don't see this working out. I don't see this working out. And now I think you got to blow everything up in the organization. I think you got to start over from scratch. What are you supposed to do? I'm frustrated. You're probably frustrated. Jet Nation is frustrated. I think we got to start all over again. Breece Hall finally had a good game, but he's looked terrible up until this point. Garrett Wilson looks confused out there. Now that he goes from the wide receiver 1 to the wide receiver 2. New York football's in trouble too. So I don't know what to say anymore. If there's any questions or comments, drop them in the comments section. We'll go through them. But I have had enough of this New York Jets team for this year. And what makes me confident to pick them anymore to win a game? Go ahead, tell me. Because I just don't see it. And the turnovers were just bad all night. Okay? You're turning it over. I told you, Garrett Wilson had butterfingers and couldn't catch the football. And I don't know what to say anymore. I am lost for words with this organization. And I don't know. Somebody tell me what to do as a Jet fan. Okay? Because there was such high expectations. Highly expectations. It's a Super Bowl or bust, which I thought was silly, and I said it was silly. Okay? And now you got to lower your expectations major because you might not make the playoffs this year. You're not even winning division games. So you're behind the 8 ball on the division games. You lost to the Bills. Okay? You beat the Patriots. No one cares. Patriots are a dysfunctional organization. But you still have division games to go. You haven't played yet. So if you can't win against the Steelers, what makes you think that you're going to beat... What makes you think you're going to beat the Patriots next week? Okay? I don't know if you're going to beat the Patriots. And people are going to say, but Nick, okay, now you're overreacting a little bit. No, I'm not overreacting. Tell me where I'm overreacting. If you can't beat Russell Wilson, can you beat Drake May? Can you beat... Well, you're not beating CJ Stroud. I'll tell you that right now. Are you beating Kyler Murray? And I don't like Kyler Murray, okay? But are you beating Kyler Murray and McBride? And if Marvin Harrison Jr. is healthy, are you beating that tandem? I don't know. Are you beating DJ Metcalf and Geno Smith and that duo, those players in Seattle? No. I just don't think you are. Dolphins, different story. I don't know about them. They're in our division. That's a dysfunctional mess right now. Jaguars, dysfunctional mess. Got a victory against the Patriots in London. But they could beat you. They could beat you. Then you have the Rams. You're not beating the Rams. At the Bills, if you couldn't win the game at home, I don't think you're winning the game on the road. And then they have the Dolphins to finish the season. So they have a lot of division games to finish out the year. But I don't know what to tell you anymore, everybody. This team is toast. Like, burnt toast. It's the toast that, like, where the lever gets stuck down and you can't get it out and you have to unplug the toaster and that so you don't get burnt. And then you have to reach in with something to get the toast out. That's the Jets right now. So this sucks. It sucks as a Jet fan. It sucks as an NFL fan because obviously you want your team to compete and try hard. And when they don't try hard, that's when you get frustrated. And I don't know what to say anymore. But it's going to be a long couple weeks. There's going to be a lot of calls for Aaron Rodgers to be benched. And I don't know what to say. It's just enough already. I think the Aaron Rodgers experiment is over. Yes, I said it. I think as a Jet fan, I said it. The Aaron Rodgers experiment is over. And I will say, was I happy when they originally got him and we got a name at the quarterback position because Zach Wilson was a joke? Yes. But is he that much better than Zach Wilson? Excuse me. People were basically packing Zach Wilson's bag and sending him out of town. Me too. Me included, by the way. Because Zach Wilson was an embarrassment. It didn't work. But Aaron Rodgers is 2-5. And I don't see how it's that much better than what Zach Wilson was doing. So I think it's time to say goodbye to Aaron Rodgers. Seriously, it's time to say goodbye to Aaron Rodgers. And find somebody, whether it's in the draft, because you might be drafting a lot higher up than expected. And find somebody that you could build around in the organization that's willing to do the right things at the quarterback position. Because Aaron Rodgers at 39 years old, 40 years old, can't move. He's an old man at the quarterback position. I'm also tired of the Aaron Rodgers antics. Just, I would put up with the antics if he was winning. And he was putting up W's. And this team was competing for first place in a division and possibly going to make a big run in the playoffs. But we're not there. So stop with the antics. We all know it was you, Aaron, that wanted Coach Saleh fired. You could stop with the the BS and stop being politically correct. We all know it was you that wanted him out. Okay? You're trying to be the nice guy because you don't want to ruffle any feathers within the organization. That's all this is. That's why Robert Saleh was gone. And that's why you quickly had to find an interim coach. So, I don't know. That's it. Frustrated Jet fan here, like all the other frustrated Jet fans. But it's over. All Jet fans, if you're listening to this right now, The Jets season is over. Stick a fork in it. Wave the white flag. The fat lady is sung. It's over. Okay? I'm going to go try to calm down off this off this loss, because this was frustrating. But tough game for New York Jets. Everybody thought the the Jets were going to win this game. They were favorites on the road. I think there was a 1.5 point favorite when we recorded the picks. Okay. They lost by 22 points. I wonder where most of the money went on the game. I guarantee you a lot of this money went on the Jets. So Vegas probably made out like a bandit tonight. So, tough night. And I wanted to just voice my frustration on the Jets because I'm getting tired of it. And I guess that's it. But turmoil in New York. And I can't root for the Jets for the rest of this year. I can't. I'll always be a Jet fan. I'm never going to jump. I'm not going to be a fair weather fan and jump sides. Because I've never liked the Giants, so I'll never jump sides. But it's going to be tough to watch this team. Because it's just going to be the same rigmarole all over again. All right, the Jets are the favorite to win the game. Are they the favorite, or are they going to implode like they did tonight? Well, we'll see. Just quick reminder, no Empty the Bench sports episode this week. Tom and I are taking off. And join us over on playback.tv/ETB Network, our partner, where we will be doing live stream NBA games. We will be there on Tuesday, starting at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. So join us for Knicks Celtics. And we'll be doing that game, and followed by Timberwolves at the Lakers. Come by to our playback streams, playback.tv/ETB Network, if you want to find us there. And we have a lot of fun doing those streams, and you will enjoy it. I promise. Here's the link if you want to find us, playback.tv/ETB Network. Go on there, sign up for a free account. It's free. I promise. There's no paying for this account. Sign up, join our community, look for ETB Network or Empty the Bench Podcast Network, and you will get to watch the games along with all the guys and myself from the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. Like I said, Knicks Celtics, it's ring night for the Celtics. So please join us, followed by the Timberwolves at the Lakers, LeBron James and Bronny playing together in their first game, even though it's a big, loud headache, but I'll save that for another day. So make sure you join us on here. Sign up. It's absolutely free. There's no money involved in paying. You just sign up with your account quickly, 2 steps, and join our community, and you can find us. So that'll do it for this live stream, post-show, if you want to call it, for the Jets. I'm Nick Morganson. You want to follow me on social media, I'm right there at NMorganson Radio. If you want to follow the Empty the Bench Podcast Network, it's at ETB Network. If you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ETB Network, please help us out. We're close to 900 subscribers. We really need a push to get to 1,000, so please help us. And you can listen to all our podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. We have everything out there. So excuse me, we have everything out there for you, so please make sure you join us. All right, that'll do it. I'm Nick Morganson. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.